Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you one of my favorite dessert that you can eat for breakfast. It's a gluten-free, vegan, sweet potato cake. It's very filling and it's healthy. So let's get to it. So first of all, you need to peel sweet potatoes and then you can chop them into little cubes. Put them in a food processor to create fine texture, like a flour texture. But if you don't have a food processor, that's not a problem. You can just use fine side of the cheese grater. That also will be perfectly fine, and it also will give you some type of texture in your cake. Now, just process the sweet potatoes for about 2 to 3 minutes until you will get this fine texture. Sweet potato is great to bake because it's not only give your cake the moist, but also it will give the sweetness. Make sure when you process the potato that you will take everything from the side so all of the potatoes are processed very well. Now, when you have everything ready, we can start mixing all wet ingredients. Let's start from flax egg. So 3 tablespoons of flax seeds with 6 tablespoons of water. Make sure that you are mixing this well so you will have good consistency of an egg. We use flax egg in a vegan cooking to make sure that this ingredient will combine all of the other ingredients and make them stick together like a glue. Now, when we already have this done, we'll use 2 sweet potato, 1 cup of coconut yogurt. You can use any type of plant-based yogurt. I actually use coconut yogurt. If you want to know how I make my homemade coconut yogurt, just make sure that you will put it in the comments and I will make the video separate for that. So now we just have to mix all of those 2 ingredients together. As you can see, I'm trying to just move the sweet potato to mix nicely with the coconut yogurt. I'm not trying to be too rough with it as I want to keep the coconut yogurt still smooth. Now we'll add the flax egg that we just made before, and we'll mix that together. We can also add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of any type of oil. I'm using coconut oil that is cold press. But you actually don't have to use any oil in this cake. I made it before without any oil added, so this is really optional. Now we have all wet ingredients combined. So now it's time for the dry ingredients. The first ingredient will be coconut sugar. It's a half cup of coconut sugar, but you can use any type of sweetener that you wish. 1 cup of almond flour, 1 cup of oat flour, which one you can just blend the oats in a blender, and half cup of coconut flour. We also will add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and some spices. I'm using 1 tablespoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of dry ginger. Now just combine all of the ingredients very well. As you can see, I am trying to break apart those little lumps of flour. Usually flours like coconut flour has moist in it, so it will create, with combination of other flours, little lumps. So you want to make sure that you will break them apart to have a nice consistency. I also add extra ingredient to that cake, which is some type of nuts. I use walnuts. I really like walnuts because of the texture. They are not too hard and they are not too soft. So I use about 2 handfuls of walnuts. You can put them in a food processor to process them, or you can chop them just with the knife. I decided today to just use the knife and chop them to find consistency. I like adding walnuts because they will give you that extra crunch in this cake. Now it's just time to add them to all of the dry ingredients and mix that well. When that is over, now it's time to combine all of the ingredients. I have to tell you that working with those heavy flours like coconut flour, oat flour, and almond flour, it's not that easy to combine all of the ingredients, so you will have to use some muscle for that. If you will feel that the texture is too dry or is too difficult to combine them, make sure you add some water. I actually will add some water. It's probably not more than 1/5 of the cup of water, but you will know when you're mixing it up. So don't be afraid to put a little bit water to it. Now, when all ingredients are well combined, we can put them in a dish of your choice. I'm using here a glass dish that is prepared to be used in an oven. Now it's just time to spread the batter evenly in a dish to make sure that it bakes evenly and looks somehow presentable. Also, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and you will bake that cake for about 45 to 60 minutes. Make sure after about 45 minutes you will check if it's baked. And if it's needed, you will leave it for a little bit longer. And it's ready to be baked. I will see you on the other side how to make now the frosting. So to make a frosting, I put 4 tablespoons of coconut powder and sweeten it. I added about 4 tablespoons of honey. Because I of course pick very little dish, I had to be very careful to mix it well and not make a lot of mess. To that, I added 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, and of course I made a lot of mess around it. So make sure that you just mix it well so you have nice even consistency. Now, when your chocolate is ready, you can add this to your peanut butter. I actually use peanut butter, but you can use any nut butter of your choice. Probably other butters will be a little bit better because they are not so tough to work with. My peanut butter was in refrigerator, so it was really tough to combine all of the ingredients. I had to put a lot of muscle into it. So maybe choose other butter and let me know how that went for you and how it tastes. Now we have a baked cake. I will suggest that you will put your frosting on a hot cake, especially if you are using peanut butter, because the warmth coming from the cake will really help you spreading that frosting. As you can see, it's very thick consistency, but with the good muscle, you can do it. After you're done with the frosting, leave it out so your cake can cool down, and when it's cool, you can put it in the refrigerator. Leave it there for about an hour. It should be ready to eat and cut. So I will see you on the other side when it's ready to be cut. The cake is ready. Let's do the first cut. It's easy to take it out, as you can see. I am so ready to try it. Actually, my daughter is more ready to try it. Here you go. It looks delicious. I hope that you will guys enjoy it. See you next time.